Hey, Mckenzie.
Hi, Susan.
Hi. Okay, so in this video, hello everybody who's watching this, by the way. In this video, we'll be interviewing Mckenzie, who's actually a staff member at UCDC and also a UCDC alumni. So we'll be talking a little bit more about Mckenzie's experience at UCDC and what she took away from it after she came back from the program. So if you don't mind, Mckenzie, can you tell us a little bit more about where you interned at and a day at your internship?
Yeah, definitely. So I was an intern at the Woodrow Wilson International Center for Scholars, nicknamed the Wilson Center for short. It was built as a living memorial to President Woodrow Wilson, who had a specialty in foreign policy. So what the Wilson Center does is they have about 200 scholars at any given time researching different regions around the world, what's happening politically, culturally, economically, and producing articles and giving insight on that. So what I was
Mm-hmm.
doing at the Wilson Center was I was a media intern working with my mentor to collect these various pieces that scholars had produced, whether it was an article they wrote, a book they wrote, getting featured on a radio show or a news show, like CNN, NPR, those kinds of things, and being able to collect all of that to not only view it internally, but also be able to project it externally and be able to push
Yeah.
it to the people that we think it would be interesting. So we're kind of like the connectors of the Wilson Center. And specifically, what I was doing was really curating an internal newsletter of all those links that I talked about to go to
Mm-hmm.
our internal staff so that everyone could kind of know what's happening. And it was really a reflection of what the Wilson Center was um, doing in response to all of the breaking headlines.
Yeah.
So, very important things that happened while I was there was the second summit between, um, North Korean leader Kim Jong Un and President Trump.
Wow.
Um, there was all of the issues happening with Venezuela. So, we were
Mm-hmm.
doing a lot of items related to Juan Guaido, President Maduro, and all of those things. So it was just like a really interesting time being there. And while I was curating this newsletter, I was really seeing, what Wilson was doing and spinning our own little flavor on it, which
Yeah.
is really cool. And so other things I also got to do on the daily was go to events that Wilson was holding,
Mm-hmm.
which was panels and book launches, and also inviting really interesting political leaders and celebrities like the president of Colombia to talk about the Venezuela issues, or um, General Petraeus to talk about cybersecurity in America. And
Yeah,
so that was really, really cool, just going and either taking quotes down or just sitting in.
definitely. That sounds really cool. Like you were literally at the center of the news world with everything happening around you. And like you were able to see everything from like presidents all the way to like news from NPR and CNN. I think that's really amazing. And I was also curious about what you found most rewarding about your internship. It sounds like you did so many things.
Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, we're kind of the connectors of Wilson and the outside world.
Mm-hmm.
So, honestly, the best thing that I gained from this internship was the network from Wilson. Every day I was going to these events, meeting people, and every day I was meeting someone who wanted to help me,
Mm-hmm.
whether it was with, my personal goals academically, career related, what was I doing after Wilson, or just my general hobbies. Like I went and did yoga with someone from the Wilson Center, and because we
Yeah.
realized that that was something we both like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that was the most invaluable part of my experience, especially because my internship wasn't necessarily related to what I was doing in school, in the sense of I'm a poli sci major. I wasn't a communications or journalist major. So that was, just really what I needed at the time was all these different contacts in my
I see.
personal, file.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds really cool. It sounds like you got a chance to network with people in DC and like people who could boost your career in the future. I was really interested as well as this is a great segue to what did you find most helpful for you after you left the UCDC program? Like anything that you took away that helped with your personal or professional life?
Yeah, definitely. So after I got back from DC, I realized that I really wanted to continue my studies in graduate school. I was a bio major for 3 years. So after I switched to poli sci and had my big DC experience, I realized I wanted to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
But I was really intimidated because, a lot of graduate schools ask that you have a couple years of work experience. So I remember taking my resume to someone at UCSD who was a faculty member with one of the master's programs at the School of Global Policy and Strategy. And I asked him, do you think I'm a qualified applicant? And one of the first things he zeroed in on was the Wilson Center and my UCDC experience. And he said, wow, you've already interned in DC. That's so unique and unusual. I think that gives you the insight and the experience that you really need to be successful in grad school. And I was like, oh my God, wow, thank you.
Yeah.
And in addition to that and getting that confidence boost, my mentor from UCDC at the Wilson Center was one of the people who wrote my letters of rec. And that meant so much to me. And of course, his rationale was, you did such great work for us at Wilson. I think you'd be awesome in grad school. And I'm, more than happy to do this for you. In addition, I also had all of those contacts asking me how they could help. And just having that network and that support was absolutely invaluable to help get me through graduate school applications. And now I'll be starting at GPS in the fall as a master's student. So there you go.
So exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And I think we're running a little bit out of time here, but I think what's great is that I hear that UCDC helped you with finding suitable mentors and helping you propel through your career. And I think one other thing I heard from you is how even though this wasn't a direct fit with poli-sci or something that you thought you were going to do, that the culture in the city itself in DC really trained you and gave you this prestige to other people, when that made you look better on your application, I'm sure. And
better as a person too.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can see that how you became more professional and confident after you came back too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll see you soon, Mckenzie. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Susan.
All right.